So I was just driving home and I was thinking about what would happen if I didn't have a credit card, and just thinking about why it's so important to have credit in our financial system. As you may know or may not know, about 97% of our money, all the money in our economy, is credit. That means that only 3% of our money, the thing we call money, is actually cash. So the paper, that's 3%. The rest of our money is credit. So if you don't have credit in the system, you're not in the system. The system doesn't work with you. You're incompatible with our financial system if you don't have credit. And so if you are just getting started in your career, or as an adult, you just graduated high school and you're getting into the workforce, or you're going to college, and you don't have a credit card to participate in this economy, you cannot participate in the economy beyond being a consumer. If you want to be someone who owns property, who builds wealth, who is allowed to buy a house, buy a car, buy anything that requires credit, which is most things, that is just not the basic consumerism, things that actually produce wealth for you, things that help you achieve something and not just satisfy some short-term gratification that you need. If you want to actually be an active member of this economy, you have to have credit. The banks will not work with you if you don't have credit. They won't let you get a mortgage to buy a house. They won't let you get a loan to buy a car. And they won't give you a loan to start a business. And of course, there's more to that when it comes to starting a business and getting the right financing that you need to actually launch your business. All of these things require credit. So if you ever want to upgrade your life beyond just renting and leasing, so that you can actually acquire equity in something, in assets, not liabilities, of course, you need to have credit. Even if you have your own business and you make lots of money, you're a hustler, you make 6 figures, you make 8 figures, the banks will not work with you. They won't give you a loan to buy a house. So you'll need to buy your own house cash. And I know you're thinking, oh, if I'm a millionaire, I can do whatever I want. Well, that's not the case. Houses are very expensive these days. A single house might cost you $500,000. So if you don't have credit, you're going to have to come up with that entire amount on your own. Even if you're a millionaire, that's a pretty tall order. So credit is extremely important in our system. Again, 97% of our money is credit. Loans, debt. That's our money. And if you don't have access to that, you cannot participate in this economy to your benefit. Of course, you can go buy things to be a consumer, but anything that's going to give you any real value return, let you build wealth, acquire actual assets, equity in assets, they're going to be expensive. Beyond what you can afford, beyond what's in your bank account, in your savings account. Especially if you're using one of those older banks that give you 0.01% in interest, your money is not going to grow. And so even if you have lots of money in there from your savings, you're a 6-figure earner, you're a 7-figure earner, you're not going to have enough to buy that house, to buy that car, to start that business. You're going to need credit. And so that's where credit cards come in. You need to have a credit card, at least one. I have one credit card, I guess 2 these days. But for the longest time, since I was in college, since 2015, when I got my first internship, I got my first credit card. And I've used that credit card, Discover for students. That was my credit card. I used that credit card to buy whatever I needed. And I only bought what I could actually afford. That's the trick. People tell you that credit cards are dangerous, and that's because most people don't know how to use it responsibly. So first and foremost, you need to be a very responsible consumer. And once you get that out of the way, you need to go get a credit card and put all of your charges on that credit card. Once you have all of your transactions running through that credit card, you're now building up credit. A record of your borrowing habits, that's what credit is. You borrow money from some bank, they let you spend their money, and then you pay them back at the end of the month. So you spend using their money, and you pay them back, and they tell the credit reporting agencies, that's Experian and all those other guys, they care to keep track of your credit history. And so the bank that you borrow your money from, mine is Discover, might have Chase, or you might have Wells Fargo, or whoever your bank is. They'll give you a credit card, and you borrow their money, you spend it. And the trick is to make sure you pay back every single month on time so that you don't miss a payment, because that's going to hurt your credit history. Because they're going to take that missed payment, report it to FICO, and once it's reported to those guys, it's going to stay on your record for a while. And so long as that's on there, any bad marks, you missing payments, or you defaulting on your loans, going bankrupt, all of those things add up. You spending too much. If you're giving $1,000 in credit line and you spend $500 every single month, that's pretty high if you don't pay it off. So long as you pay off what you spend, all will be well, and you'll be building up credit over time. Once you have that credit history, you get a score. You want to be in the 740 range. That is considered excellent. You're doing very well. You're very trustworthy. In the future, if you want to get a mortgage, the bank will know, oh, this person has a 740 credit score. That means that they have a very high chance of paying back the money that we give them to buy this house. Or if you're buying a car, the same thing. They want to just know that you will pay back their money that they give you to buy whatever you want, to finance whatever you want. That's all credit is. It's just a history of your spending and payment habits. How you borrow and how you pay back your debts. You might think you don't need credit. You don't need a credit card. It's too dangerous. But again, just to summarize, you need to have credit because 97% of our economy, our money, is credit, is debt. And if you don't have debt, when it comes time to make a large purchase that you need financing for, that's a loan, a mortgage, if the banks don't trust you, they won't give you that loan, that mortgage that you need to buy your car, to buy your house, to start that business. So you want to start that early, as soon as you can. Get a credit card, get a very minimal limit, maybe $600, whatever you can afford. Put your phone bills on that. Whatever you have to pay off every single month, pay with that. Your groceries, if you go to the mall and buy shoes, put it on your credit card. But only buy what you can actually afford, what you are going to have enough money to pay off before your monthly due. And if you do that, you will have a nice credit history, you have a 700 plus credit score, and the banks will throw money at you. They will want to give you loans. And of course, that gives you another problem that is good or bad depending on who you are and how responsible you are with your money. But once you have banks liking you and wanting to give you money, then you get to pick the terms. If you have a good credit score, you can say, hey, I want a loan with a cheaper interest rate, which means that you'll pay less for that loan over time when you're paying it back. So there's lots of benefits to having a credit card, to having a credit history, and it's very important that you start as soon as possible. And this video is specifically for those who getting started in their careers, getting into the workforce, getting into adulting, being someone who wants to build wealth and actually retire, have a chance at that comfortably. That's all for now. I hope that was helpful and I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, consider giving this a like and subscribing so that you can see more of our videos in the future. We cover finance, investing, and just building wealth in general.